Ooh. SK not expecting that, but he recovers very nicely. Manages to transition into another chain with low effort. We're seeing very low pressure from John. John, again, seems like he's not having the best because very low pressure, and you know the pressure from skpeter right now is super optimal, especially if he tops him out with like a medium, yeah, and now like maybe like a medium chain of some sort. That would be even better actually. But John buffers, manages to find a way out. A little bit of technical flubs there, but still managing to survive. Level 8 privilege. Hashtag level 8 privilege. And will we see a recovery? Buffers, good. We're seeing a lot of good stuff defensively from John right now, but he needs it to be better. He's gonna have to find something to buffer. Oh no! And he's like, oh shit. Can he get it? Oh, he gets it. That's so hard to get out of, because once you're in the situation where you have to reactively find a solution in like 0.2 seconds, it's just so much trouble for John to really find that solution in a way that's optimal. We saw him throwing down his options just because he didn't have time. Because if he waits any time at all, he's gonna die. So he needs to find something, and needs to find something now, and it ends up reducing the optimizations and the efficiency that these players try to build up, and it all falls apart just like that. So I think one of the things that we want to see skpeter do to close out the set is just keep the aggression on. We want him to make sure that when John does send the pressure, he wants to defend adequately. Bring it to the resistance gate, because when your opponent's off defensively, bringing it to the endurance match is always a great way to get rid of them. I know that in my time I've been gotten rid of like that many times. Now we're gonna have to see a defense. He sees the blues. We got defense on both sides. Oh, but that purple. And then look at that shock block down there, annoying the hell out of John. Probably does not like that. Pushed up at the wrong time. Oh, and we're gonna be seeing great transition, but can he get it? Oh, and he kills his greens. Let's see what happens now. Oh, but John sends his garbage late. This is like a lot closer of a set in terms of the way that the matches are playing out. I like this. Oh my god, we're gonna be seeing some crazy stuff again. A bunch of stuff that the players maybe not predicting. Ooh, and so much chain garbage. And he goes for the disrespect, almost dying for that. skpeter not able to find the solution there. He opted to autopilot, throwing all the stuff down. But unfortunately, it didn't end up lining up in a way that gave him a direct clear. And that ties it up to 1-1. So we're seeing that, you know, skpeter, we're going to definitely want to see him invest more resources into that endurance match. I'm sure that if he lived a bit longer there, he would have been able to do a lot more. Meanwhile, John seems like he's starting to tap back into his powers, you know? He's starting to remember. But a nice strong aggression here. Opting to cut that off wisely, honestly. He's going to go for the purples here. He's going to have it free. Oh, he actually does the disrespect. Goes for the 5, opts to that extra line. He's going to see the greens instantly. And he's going to have that second tier. So that's very good anti-aggression right coming out from John right now. He's going to have a pressure advantage. But he's going to have to live through it. Because just because you have an advantage doesn't mean you're safe. Let's see what we got. Oh, and he gets it. Barely. I don't even know if that was intentional. I thought he was just autopilot dropping shit down. He's gonna see the greens again, most likely, and he's gonna get it in a way that's safe. As you can see, the garbage is not falling down on John's side, therefore he has a chance to get that extra shake time on defense now. He's probably gonna see the second tier. John's pretty good at finding those. And let's see what happens on skpeter's side. He has medium pressure. Medium amounts of pressure, but a good setup from John. If skpeter drops this, he might be in trouble. Gonna get that 7. Not what he probably wanted in that situation, because it opens up that big hole on the right side there. You don't really want that. Oh, and he opts to go for... Oh, okay, well that's fine. What do we got? Got those... Oh, and he gets it in time. That's important to get that before those fall, because then that wouldn't work. He gets a triple. He gets a triple! I like that. Oh, this is gonna be great. If he can live through it, that is. Barely gets that. Kind of a inefficient way, but see that 18 health right there? That's that level 8 privilege. Let's see what we got. We're probably gonna see a... No, we're not. Pressure from skpeter pretty good right now. We have to make sure that John is in a position where he can actually defend himself. But he barely doesn't top him out. But John gets the chain, so it wouldn't matter. You got the trick. So we're seeing good match here. I like this. This is like a 3-minute match. Almost 3 minutes. This is the matches that I like to see. Let's see how they end up. And we're starting to see the consequences. Oh, John... Maybe control and misinput, but still managing to live within his own stop time as well. Would have lived on level 10 there, and we're starting to see the consequences of the early game on this late game here. We're approaching the 3-minute mark. We're starting to see what the effects of the early game aggression are on the late game. And because we're seeing both players had medium amounts of pressure early game, they have what I would consider medium amounts of pressure late game. aka they're barely enough to top the other person out, but they're not super out. And we saw there that John was able to set up his pressure in a way that was more dangerous than SK, because SK sent a huge chain, which gave John a lot of shake time to set up for his defense. It also would give him a lot of time clearing it, because it was all on screen. And meanwhile, John was sending medium tier garbage to create those lines of panels in between that can potentially pose a huge threat to surviving. And because of that, SK ended up falling to the pressure. Even though technically their pressure was about even, the way that they used their pressure ended up being in the favor of John heavily. A bunch of combos. Oh, that's nice. John getting a small advantage in pressure. Wow, look at that. He almost quick killed that kid. Sorry, you're not a kid, SK. I just had to say it like that. So what we're seeing now is the classic example of I went all in with combo garbage. Now I don't have no pressure. Combo garbage is really like an early game strat, and you fall behind real fast if you don't end up getting the kill right away. I mean, skpeter isn't doing much to counter. He hasn't really sent much, but he had multiple opportunities to send a lot of garbage here. So whatever side we do see, right now we don't even have like a clear aggressor at all, because both of them just now they started sending like stuff it's not even topping them out, it's just enough to like get the blood flowing, right? And it's been so slow that we see a shock block up there, that go gray thing. Half of you don't even know what that is probably. That's basically when those 3 little exclamation marks. When you line up the 3 gray little dudes there, that gives you that little block there, and that basically acts as a pseudo cutoff thing, where if you clear the garbage, it won't clear with it. It's like a different kind of garbage. SK barely living there. That was dangerous. Very low aggression match. Now we're starting to see SK come with something. Oh, but he has to push up. Okay, he finds it. Gonna get rid of those. Wisely gets rid of the grays. because those can pose a threat. So we're going to be seeing the advantage finally swing in the direction of one player, John. Oh, and messing up, though. He's going to have to buffer. He's going to have to find something. Oh, but the aggression, because of the aggression advantage, not topped out. He would have died there if he was, for sure. And now, this is a very bad spot for SK. But again, not topped out. Such a low aggression match. So we're going to see that shock block act as a gate towards the other guys, not costing him because he does a really good, well-timed swap to clear before the 10's too late. And John with the second tier. So much going on right now. We're going to see a 5. John's probably going to opt to buffer some stuff here. Is he going to see the... Okay, he finds something. And we're approaching well beyond 3 minutes here. We've seen an extremely... And you'll see here that the trend continues. Where a low aggression match continues to feed us low aggression throughout the entire course of the game. From both sides. Once you're stuck in a situation where you're stuck defending, but then you also don't have many panels to work with, it's very difficult, and you're stuck defending a lot of combo garbage, it's very difficult to get a really big chain going. John has an opportunity to get one going right now, because now his panels are full. He can maybe start swinging the aggression in his favor. The problem is that every time that a player has in this match, they've never been able to maintain it and keep pushing to extend their advantage in the match, so it always ends up just resetting back to neutral. We're gonna have to see something here. We're gonna see John finding those, knew those purples were there the whole time. And we're gonna see John finally trying to extend the lead a little bit here. And he gets him finally. John wasn't really at risk there for most of the game. So it makes sense that skpeter eventually would just fall to pressure after like 3 minutes of playing nonstop. And honestly, it was just really both players opening low, and because of the type of pressure they were sending to the other, they were kind of stopping them to send any significant pressure. And then when it came time to where they did manage to get something decent out, they just weren't really following up with another big thing. So it was always just going back to no one has anything, and both players relatively low risk. But we did see John win, so... And, you know, after winning a long match like that, you feel a lot of relief. So we might see a big momentum switch right now. And we were talking about how John before maybe not having a good day. This might be the match that actually brings him back into the tournament. Unfortunately, maybe a bit late, because a lot of the important opponents that he would have needed it against maybe are no longer an option. But yeah, you can see the person who won the match before, that's a big win. It really starts to feel to weigh down on you after you lose a match like that. And on the other side, you're really good at you become more confident in your own ability to close out a match if you manage to survive something that big. So we saw a big momentum switch there, and skpeter just dropping the last match real easy, whereas John continuing his trend of putting pressure down that he established in that fourth match that really gave him a time to feel himself back and reestablish like his strategy as a player.